Hey, what is up? We are live. Thank you for popping in. We're gonna do some DraftKings and probably some underdog. The goal was to originally do a bunch on drafters, but they're mini close, and I like playoff baseball, but not as much as most people. So I don't really want to be throwing $20 a pop at it. I will wait to use my credits on drafters for the big board type stuff. So we are here. We're gonna go ahead and do the 20 entry max play action right now. I have done 5 of the entries, and it looks like it's probably going to fill by the weekend. So we're going to join right now. Hopefully, not accidentally use crowns again. We avoided that. And we are 4 of 6. And if you pop in, let me know. We get the 103. Johnny's Unquest at 1. And I've been doing them on DraftKings a little bit. Like there's a big difference with the tight ends versus no tight ends that you have on Underdog. Like on Underdog, they group tight ends in with the wide receivers, and you have 2 less rounds. So it is quite a bit different. Like the beginning of it is very similar, but about the middle of the draft, things kind of get quite a bit different. Like George Kittle has a lot more value in these, and so do several of the other players that are tight ends. Like I personally really like Hunter Henry, and like Colson Loveland. I think is a really good pick here. Like even if he doesn't get to the finals, like I personally think the Bears are live to win a game or two. And just helping you advance a team to a Super Bowl is very valuable. So I don't take a lot of him without Caleb because Caleb is also very cheap, but I am not against it either. Like if I have an AFC quarterback, like a Drake May kind of thing going on, I don't mind tacking on the Colston Loveland late. If I have a big Patriot stack, like, and I didn't get Hunter Henry, like it makes sense to attack a couple tight ends and give multiple outs on the other side. Oh, sorry about that. I think I ate something bad a little bit earlier, and I took a nap. Didn't feel great. We'll see how long I go. We got definitely woke up and felt slightly better, but not like elite by any means. Hopefully, this guy wants a JSN. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Like, Happy New Year. Yeah, I forgot all about that. Yeah, I went out to my buddy's house last night. We all hung out for a while. It was a really good time. As adults, it's hard to get everybody together, and everybody was able to get together. Kids are having a good time, and I had a really fun time. I don't drink either, so I'm always a DD whenever I go to those things. Like definitely tried a mix or two, but I don't really care about drinking, so I don't really do it that often. Okay, we get I'm not against people doing it. I just personally don't do it that often. We got JSN. So if we probably won't be able to get Drake May back around. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take May and build out the NFC side here. If you start exactly. Oh, that's very interesting. The "Hey you guys" is the first thing you hear in the New Year's. That's like the that's like very related to the Wizard of Oz, lining it up with the Pink Floyd album thing, right? Like where you start it as soon as the tornado. I think it's when the tornado starts, you start the other. Is it the Other Side album? And the sounds of the album go very much with what's going on in the movie. Uh, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and force in Travion Henderson. Like, it's a pretty well known thing. I did not realize that is a thing. I'm sure that's a thing that a lot of people do, though. Uh, or maybe Jamie is just an absolute genius. I don't know. One or the other is definitely true. We have 10 people watching. We got 2 likes. Whenever you guys get a chance to stop while you're driving and smash the like, that would be awesome. There's nothing else to do. I'm waiting for information for the weeklies. Tomorrow I will be doing weeklies content. And I prefer the drafter stuff, but I don't really like playoff best ball enough to do high dollar stuff. So I'm just doing the little $3 play action, basically, to get some content out there. I also fully don't believe that the Packers have any chance to do anything. So I'm very much. I mean, I really don't want to have to take Kyron here, but like I think the smart move is to take Diggs there. Giving Kyron, like, yeah, that's wild that Kyron is still there. Like, I would be so good if Kyron fell back. Like, insane. The Dark Side of the Moon, start the album at the third drawer of the MGM Lion at the beginning. There you go. I wonder if you Googled it or if you knew that. Sounds like something Jamie would just know. All right, so we're fully in on a Patriot stack here. We have all we need now is to get a flex plus a wide receiver from all the other options. Feels good to be in this situation. Most of the playoff best ball drafts I've done, some wild things have happened to kind of ruin my teams. So having at least a path here that looks very linear is nice. Green Bay is going to be a 2-point dog on the road in Chicago next week. They could totally win, but I don't care about them winning a game. I care, are they going to win 3 games? You know, like, they have to win 3 games against great teams to really, really, like, completely destroy me. And I just don't. Green Bay is very up and down. They've been, in my opinion, they've been the most overrated team all season. They are very good when they want to be good, but they do not play good ball all the time. I think it's a very, very low likelihood that they actually get the job done. And like multiple weeks versus really good teams, I just don't see it. I can't personally see them being the team in the Super Bowl. It will hurt fully fading them if they get to the championship game, but I can't see them getting to the Super Bowl. Maybe it's a blind spot for me, but it is something I feel pretty strongly about it. I just don't see it. Like, they're going to also be on the road every week. Jordan Love's kind of battling injuries. They have been a much better team since Christian Watson came back, but they don't have Parsons, right? Like, and their defense hasn't been the same without Parsons. I do think it's kind of weird that the Packers and Bears may be in round 1. The Packers being oddly one of the only team. Look at this. This guy takes Sam Darnold. What's he? He must be auto drafting or something. But we're fine with it. We will just go ahead and that kind of ruined what I was hoping to do there. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just take Blake Corum as a one-off. I get that. I might add. I'm probably gonna also pick Stevenson. I'm gonna guess that nobody else is in on. Like, I think I could get Corum plus Stevenson here, and then just take a random tight end at the end, and then the rest of it be wide receivers. I don't love the one quarterback builds like a lot of people do, but with this room, with this guy having 3, and this guy stealing Darnold, and Burden, like this guy's obviously going to take Caleb Williams, I assume. Oh no, he's not. So like with what's going on here, I'm very much locked into the one quarterback. I much prefer the 2 quarterback stuff, but with this team, I don't see anybody else there. So I think I could afford to get the 1 Rams piece, and I do think the Rams are going to win a game or 2. And pushing Stevenson was something I was willing to do, because now I can just put a bunch of NFC quarterbacks or wide receivers in my lineup, right? Just have one tight end and then a bunch of wide receivers from the NFC side, and I think that I'll be happy with that if I could definitely get that. The safer play was to take Hendo there. Yeah, and so we get Travion back. This guy, as I was pointing out, was taking the Bear stuff. This guy takes Caleb and then pushes around DJ Moore. This guy's building out Josh Allen to Kincaid. So he's probably going to take a Brandon Cooks or something late. We're now going to look at, it may just be, do we want Loveland or do we want... We're going to go ahead and take Loveland here. Oh, I know I need wide receivers. My last 3 picks are all wide receivers. Because, like, all the ones at the top, I don't like. So we're going to go with, like, Shaheed's the one I want the most. I'm in on Dobbs some, I guess. I don't really want the Dobbs plus Loveland there. And then, yeah, all the NFC wide receivers are basically cooked. So we'll be taking like a Kyle Williams or a Douglas. Why does Shaheed need to be the final pick? Like, I know you're better at this than I am. I'm genuinely curious why I need... Oh, because they're going to get the bye. Yeah, but he's also the most important piece to get to the Super Bowl, right? Yeah, well, you're wrong, because the guy on the other side of me took Sam Darnold for no reason, right? Which got me into taking Corum and messed this up. So taking Shaheed has to happen here. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and take Shaheed now. The Patriots are the people everybody's letting push around the board. So I'm going to take Shaheed there, and then one of the New England wide receivers, and then just pick a random NFC wide receiver on top of it, like maybe even McMillan or something. All right, we're gonna go with, so Booty did go. We'll just take Kyle Williams. We'll remove DeMario, and then guess we could take which one of the like. It's all AFC wide receivers at the end. Like I haven't done very many of these. I don't know if you agree with taking Shaheed there or not. Yeah, I think Flowers or Reed is the right call. Not Flowers, but Dobbs or Reed. Did Flowers just go? Like just use a pure advance rate piece there and fully go into the Super Bowl. I mean that actually makes a lot of sense as well. Like have a single Super Bowl to go into. I'm also thinking that like I kind of really like Jaden Reed against Chicago in round one. Like Chicago, the Loveland pick may not have been the correct pick. I will go ahead and say that I probably did mess up there with the Loveland pick. Like I will admit that, but it didn't change any of my draft. I wasn't going to take Franklin. I wasn't going to take Parker Washington. I got the other guy I got. The only thing that might have changed was taking Booty instead of Kyle Williams, and I think that's pretty debatable. Like I do like Booty a little more, and like it, whatever tight end I got, I guess could have been different. Who was left at the end? So yeah, I could have got Barner. I didn't realize Barner was going to be undrafted there. So like that would have been a slight change, but I'm pretty happy with it. We have Drake May, solo quarterback, Travion Henderson, Kenneth Walker, Blake Corum, and Stevenson, all at running back. We have JSN, Steph Diggs, and then Shaheed, Kyle Williams, and Jaden Reed for round one. We have Colson Loveland and Hunter Henry. Yeah, smash the booty hard. Jamie knows what's up. All right, so that's what we ended with. And like I said, I'm not a professional at the playoff best ball stuff. I know Stat ATL does a lot of content himself. He loves this contest. He's had success before at this contest. I was close to success last year on the drafter style, but I got like 28th out of a pot or whatever. So I made a little, but I didn't really make money. And it is a much different contest than this. So we're going to do another play action, and we're going to join in 10 seconds for anybody who would like to play along and watch me make more mistakes. Like you just watch me make a mild mistake there. I don't know. I still will argue that the Loveland pick was fine. I didn't expect all three Chicago receivers to go between that turn, right? The goal was to build out into Chicago and Seattle. And I didn't expect the next guy to take Luther, the next guy to take Caleb Williams, the next guy, and then come back around, he takes DJ Moore, and then Roma Dunze go all before my next pick. Like the original plan was to make sure I had all that. So we get the 102. I'm very happy with CMC, and I actually disagree. I think San Francisco wins this weekend. I think San Francisco ends up with the 1 seed when all is said and done. So like I'm not that worried about round one with Seattle. Like if it screws me, it screws me. It's not much different than betting $60 that, like, if I have 8 teams that all have Seattle and they're all thin in round one because I have Seattle, because I assume they're going to be a 5 or 6 seed or a 4 seed instead, or they'd be the 5. They would be the 5 seed playing the 4 seed. If that happens, like, I definitely want JSN and Shaheed versus the Panthers or Bucks, right? And that also devalues the Rams a little bit. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens this week. The Niners haven't been playing the elite defenses, but man, like, absolutely nobody can stop them right now. I know they can't really stop a whole lot of people either. I'm very excited for the Saturday night game, and I do want to get a little bit of the Seahawks, because I think they're being undervalued a little bit, because the only person anybody wants is JSN. I think AJ Barner has a little value, and he went undrafted there. Like, if that's the first draft I've seen, and I've only done like 10 of these throughout the different websites. I did 7 on Drafters, or 8. This is my 7th one here, and I think I've done 2 mittens or something. So I'm still trying to figure out the how everything works. Law Win, is that Lawsimo? I seen you pop in. Happy New Year to you as well. And yeah, it's all good, man. I just trying to, like, I'm just gambling, man. Like, that's what we're doing. We're starting the new year out right. We're gambling. I kind of assumed that Lawsimo was Law Win with the purple helmet and the purple L over here. I assumed that the purple was connected. I believe the Ravens win that game. Like, I think it matters on who starts, if Lamar Jackson or Tyler Huntley starts. If we get a not 100% Lamar Jackson and TJ Watt is able to play, and I haven't heard news either way on if Watt's going to be able to play or not, but if that happens, I'm pretty in on the Steelers winning. If that specific scenario does happen. All right, let's go. We're gonna go ahead and go with ETN here. Like, we're gonna play this that I'm right and the Niners have the 1 seed. So we take him. We're gonna go ahead and I think I want to push up Brock Purdy here. We're just gonna take the points. We're gonna take Nico, and this opens us up to be able to have an advance rate piece between one of those two, right? And then locks us into making sure it's a San Francisco Super Bowl. If we don't get Brock Purdy, it's fine. We can lean into both of these 2 quarterbacks and just go that route. But that, I'm assuming that Juwan Jennings goes next. But if we look at the prices, like, I massively prefer Ricky Pearsall at 37 versus Juwan Jennings at 23. Like, I don't think that that's even close. I think they should be pretty close in ranking. But back to this. I personally believe if Lamar isn't 100% and he plays, that the Steelers will win the game. And that Tyler Huntley gives them a better chance to win, not because he's a better quarterback, but because John Harbaugh believes in him less. And John Harbaugh will actually run the ball if it's Tyler Huntley in the backfield instead. So, like, my entire thesis is that because the coach doesn't trust the guy, it makes them a better team, because they'll actually lean into their strongest point. So Lamar is definitely playing. I just looked stuff up about 2 hours ago, and I seen that it was still up in the air. So I haven't looked. I actually took like an hour and a half nap, jumped in the shower, and then jumped on stream. So that is where we're at with that. So we will go ahead and take Juwan Jennings there. Right, it is. And welcome, Laverne Nucky. First time I've seen you here. Hope you do enjoy the content. I will say, I'm here for fun. I'm no pro. I I give opinions. About half of them are right, about half of them are wrong, but I have a good time. Uh, so welcome and hope you enjoy. Yeah, so we do take, although I do prefer Jennings at Pearsall at cost. Like I still want some Jennings teams, right? I don't want to give myself zero. Um, and most likely I can get both of them, and then that leaves me with a being forced to get like Britton Strange plus, like Britton Strange becomes a priority at that point, right? So I will probably just take Strange with the next pick that I have, way above ADP. I'm going to require to get him to make my build work. So, and Dalton Schultz usually goes a little later. Like if I get him, I get him. If I don't, I don't. That part is fine. And CJ Stroud goes pretty late. So the pick that I definitely want, not that Lawsamo is going to take Britton Strange from me, but I definitely want to make sure that I get him. And I'm going to build this out as I don't know who's in that seat. And I don't think he's going to do it. Like we are in different builds, right? Like he's got all the Rams. He's building out the Ravens. Like if TJ Watt doesn't play and Lamar's not 100%, I still kind of like the Ravens. I haven't seen any news on him though, right? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take Brian Thomas Jr. there. So the team right now, we have CMC, Travis Etienne, wide receivers Nico, Jawan Jennings, Brian Thomas, Bretton Strange at tight end, and then Trevor Lawrence. So we're locked into a San Francisco Super Bowl. We're not locked in on the AFC side yet. I mean, I guess we're not really locked into anything except for if we don't get Stroud, we have to have Jacksonville, right? Pearsall went way before ADP over here. This Matthew guy seen that I was trying to get Pearsall, most likely, and because they took Purdy, they pulled him up. So that, like, I'm not upset at that, right? Like that's just reading the board and knowing how you're drafting and not adhering to ADP fully. Like adhering to ADP fully like will ruin your stacks and your ability to make enough Super Bowl teams, right? So in playoff best ball, I disregard ADP to a bigger extent than I do in regular best ball. And I don't know how right or wrong that is. Just giving yourself options, I believe, is the biggest thing. So Dalton Schultz is available here. I think I just want to take both of them. And then like if I get which means I will need another Texan or another Niner, right? For sure. So Barner goes way before ADP there, right? Like we look at like Barner went at 44 in this one and he went undrafted in the last one. If I thought that he was going to go undrafted in the last one, I wouldn't have taken Loveland. I think Loveland is a way better pick than Barner though. The chance of Loveland having a spike game is a lot higher to me, like a big spike game. Barner is very likely to get more games and be reasonably usable. But like to get a meaningful spike and to play multiple games, I think that Loveland has that ability. So this draft's fallen kind of into place. This is kind of how I envision this to start. Probably have like Parker Washington still available, which would be fantastic. As I said before, like I'm fine with just CMC and ETN may not be the best thing. For sure, like maybe this is a team I stacked Tootin in the last round. I definitely want Jaden Higgins, I think, on this team. That's the other piece I want. I don't really want any of the other Niners. So we have 3 picks left. If we could get these 3 players, I think I like it. If we get Higgins plus Parker Washington plus Bashaw Tootin, I think I will really like it. And then I'm leaning towards a Jacksonville San Francisco Super Bowl, right? But I'm also very covered on a Houston Jacksonville Super Bowl. So we're going to go ahead and take Jaden Higgins here. And we're going to also look I don't really see anything else that I really want there. And if we don't get Tootin and we go with a different running back there, I'm also okay with that. I think the last pick is the most irrelevant of all my picks. But I do think that this would make a lot of sense. So this team is still alive. We're very thin because we don't. Our advance rate pieces are all within the same 2 teams, right? Like either Houston or Jacksonville is the one. And we're going to try to use pod luck. Like this team is going to require a little bit of pod luck to get a team through, most likely, right? Which is fine because it's a thin game. I'm surprised how little we see Brandon Cooks go as well. Like I think Brandon Cooks, if you build out Bills, and I'm pretty down on the Bills as well as Super Bowl contenders, but I do think that Brandon Cooks showing up and just being good instantly is something we need to like actually pay attention to. And Kyle Juszczyk, I love it. I love the Kyle Juszczyk stack. That is actually awesome. They use him in big games. Like that's actually something I hadn't really thought about, but I do like it. I don't know who that is, Matthew 2784, but I do really like that. I draft a lot more different on drafters. So we do get Tootin. I'll get into that here in just a second. We got Trevor Lawrence and CJ Stroud at quarterback. Running backs, CMC, ETN, and Tootin. Wide receivers, Nico, Jawan Jennings, Brian Thomas Jr., Jaden Higgins, and Parker Washington. And then tight end, we have Brett Strange and Dalton Schultz. So we have a very skinny thing over here with the Niners with just CMC and Jawan Jennings. That's it. And then everything else is built out on the AFC side. And we have 2 possible Super Bowls. It's their thin Super Bowls. Like the Houston San Francisco is a thin Super Bowl, but it is the pieces I would want minus Kittle, right? Like CMC plus Juwan Jennings. Jennings and Pearsall are pretty interchangeable. I do like the Pearsall price more, as I said, but I think they're pretty interchangeable. So those 2 pieces with Nico, Dalton Schultz. Do we actually have enough there? Yeah, because we flexed Jaden Higgins, right? Yeah. So and then we have a stronger team if it's San Francisco Jacksonville because we have our first 2 picks. We have the stronger quarterback. We have the stronger like flex as well. So this wants it to be that. Losimo here has started to build out the Rams stuff. He went into the Rams fully, even though Stafford went unstacked here. He got Puka Nacua, Adams, Kyron Williams. I love it. Like, I will take that every time I can get it. And then he pulls up Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson to force the Ravens. He takes the Josh Jacobs as most likely an advance rate piece. I think that it's perfectly fine to have Jacobs as the advance rate piece. I'm not in on the Packers, but I think that it's fine. And something I do want to talk about, Christian Watson here. Watson has been very good when he played the Bears. And as it looks right now, it kind of feels like the Bears are going to play the Packers in round one, which means Watson will probably have 40 yards and a touchdown at minimum. So you almost, like, in my opinion, like Watson kind of locks up like a nice floor number 2 receiver with upside to be like a 22 point receiver in round one. And then he gets Zay Flowers as well, Mark Andrews, and then Jordan Love and Quentin Johnston. I like it. It's a well-built team. And as I said, I'm not that big on the Packers to get there. But I do think that I need to not have 0, right? And I do like the Christian Watson matchup, assuming they get the Bears. And Watson has been an absolute animal since he started. But onto this question: do you draft drafters? Yes, because no, I am more willing. I want to eat no zeros on drafters. On drafters, like, you need to get whoever's in the Super Bowl. Like, you need to get a full Super Bowl because you just need the points. Like, because the points matter. But taking a 0 on drafters hurts way, way more than it does in these pods, because your points. That's what, like, that's the Bo Nix argument I had yesterday. Like, you want to make sure that your floor is high every week, by having multiple at every position, just to secure the fact that if Josh Allen is who you need in the Super Bowl, and he gets a 38-point game in the Super Bowl, you have to have him to win. But if James, like, let's say he has a game that Ray Davis scores 2 rushing touchdowns and they only score 17 points in the postseason. Unlikely, but like, it's possible. And Josh Allen gets 12 points for the game. Like, you definitely need a different quarterback to advance that. Like, to get to the top in the total points. And like, every position is that same way. Like, you want to make sure you have like the best points possible from week 1 that advance to week 2. And you want to make sure, like, the one-off like Jake Ferguson from 2 years ago, or the one-off Lad McConkey, the one-off Nico Collins, very, very important. Like, looking at the teams from yesterday for the finals over in drafters, Nico Collins, although he didn't get the Super Bowl, he had 2 games, and both games were pretty big. Like, they were both like close to 20 points. Let's look that up right now. So, like, on DraftKings, that helps you advance, which is nice. But if he's not in the Super Bowl, it does 0, because the only place you actually make money is in the Super Bowl. On drafters, you're collecting points every round, right? So you want to collect as many points every round to give yourself the buffer to get to number 1. And on the drafters or DraftKings and Underdog, all you're trying to do is survive to get to the Super Bowl with a team that is alive. Like, that is the entire thesis in my eyes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Stat ATL, who is actually better at these things, I don't know how he does on the drafter side, but I know he's had success over on Underdog or DK in the playoff style stuff. I would assume he agrees. Maybe I'm completely wrong, though. If he wants to chime in, he's more than welcome to tell me I'm an idiot. Like, I've been an idiot before. It's definitely possible it happens again. But yeah, so he had 20. Nico last year had 25.2 in round 1 and 13.1 in round 2. So he was number 7 wide receiver in the postseason, week 2. And week 1, he was the number 2. Number 1 was Lad McConkey. But because he also got the 13.1 along the 25.2, he became more valuable than Lad on the total points. And he was also more valuable in advancing a team, right? Because he got the 2 games. But having the big spike helped him separate from the other people who didn't make it to the Super Bowl. So taking a 0 on drafters is a lot worse than it is on the playoff stuff, in my opinion. Because on the playoff stuff, you're just trying to advance, like get somebody there. But anyway, we are going to do another play action. Or not. Oh, I went to the wrong one. Okay. So we're going to join another one. And then after this one, we will go do a mitten for the underdog people here. I need to make sure to get a couple of these in. Let me know if you like, and if you disagree with my thought on that. I'm not saying I'm absolutely correct. That is how I view it, like from a bird's eye, right? So my view of it is that on drafters, it's way more important to make sure to not take zeros. Which is why, like last year, we're waiting on 3 though, by the way. We'll go to history here. And we'll go back and look at that from last year. So like the number 1 team last year, right? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total players that got to the Super, like 7 players that got to the Super Bowl on this team. They had Cortland Sutton, they had Terry McLaurin, they had Nico Collins. The reason they needed those is to get the full points, right? They had Brian Robinson, who had a good game during the postseason as well. So, and a lot of those only had points the first 2 weeks, right? I think Sutton only had points the first week, but what it did is it actually allowed you to get the 2 1 seeds there, or the Mahomes Barkley there. It allowed you to get the Worthy there that you needed. And as you see, they were a thinner team in round 1 because they had the 1 seeds, but they didn't take any zeros. Like they made sure not to take zeros. All right, so we get the 106. And give me just a second. I need to take a drink. But yeah, I prefer the total points contest on the things, but I don't want to spend $20 a pop on the drafters main, especially before I know matchups, because I do think that the matchups matter more on drafters as well. So because you want to get the number 1 point scorer week 1, almost no matter what. And being able to see a guy who's going to get 2 weeks versus 1 week is very important. So if you really like a matchup and you think a team has a better chance to advance, even though you may not have a super team that you could have got 2 weeks before, I do think on drafters, like being able to play the matchups and like lean into, I think the Bears are going to beat the Packers. I'm not saying that that's what I believe. I think that that's a 50-50 game if that happens. But if you really believe that, you can fully lean into the Bears playing 2 games, right? We haven't done this yet, so we're just going to go ahead and do the Rams. We're going to take them. We're going to pull them up the board. We're going to take Adams and Stafford. I really like both of them. We get Puka at the 103 in this pod. Congratulations to Teskada. They don't end up getting Stafford or Adams back, but some asshole in the 6 hole decided that they don't get good things. You don't get good things over there, sir. Not allowed. Not allowed. I could have taken James Cook there. Like I've said, I've taken a couple James Cook. I only really want, like, James Cook to me is probably a pretty good just advance rate piece. But I also mostly only want James Cook with Josh Allen. I definitely only want Josh Allen with James Cook. So if I can't get both of them, I will. If the Bills make it to the Super Bowl, I'm fine wedging myself into a hole that if the Bills make the Super Bowl, I just lose. Do I think that they're a bad team? Absolutely not. I think they're a good team. I just think that kind of like how I view the. We'll make our picks real quick. We're gonna go ahead and take ETN, and I think I want to take Harvey here. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take RJ Harvey here. All right, so Bo Nix goes at 14. That's pretty wild. But what was I was talking about something there? Oh, about wedging myself into like a spot. Like I just like the Packers, I think the Bills are live to win a game or two. I also think they're live to lose in the first round, no matter what. Their defense is bad enough that depending on what matchup they end up getting, they may end up just not being able to stop the run against whatever team they play. Luckily for them, they probably don't have to play the Ravens in round one, right? So that's a good thing. And like I just don't think they're gonna win multiple games against the AFC teams. I think that like the Bills playing against the Texans, I think would be a really good matchup for like I think that's like the best possible case for the Texans to win a game. It's an unlikely matchup to happen, I believe. But I do think that that's a matchup that like would actually kind of favor the Texans. And we've seen it like last year and this year. Everybody can pretty much score against the Bills. All right, so we are on the Rams here, and the Broncos, and what do we got going on? I'm very confused here. We're just gonna go ahead and take Hampton there, and Brian Thomas, I guess. We're probably making a mistake here. This is like I'm not gonna lie about it. We're probably making a mistake here. But I do have an idea, and we're gonna do something that nobody else is doing right now, most likely. I'm not sure if you guys are in here, but my plan right now is to at tight end. I'm going to go Colby Parkinson and Terrence Ferguson to double stack Stafford, Adams, and the two tight ends. Very few people will be doing that. It should get like if it gets to the Super Bowl, it'll be a clean out as well to be able to flex the tight end. The Rams have been running that 3 tight end set a lot lately. I think that if they played some certain teams like a Broncos defense, that could be a route that they go into. And then that will allow me to thinly build out the rest of these teams as well. So first we're just going to take these two. So we have the Brian Thomas plus ETN. Yeah, this is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take Parkinson. We're going to take Ladd. Whenever it comes back around, we're going to take Terrence Ferguson plus who was it that we were looking at? Oh, how many more picks do we have? We have 4 more picks. So like we don't have to. I'll probably take Terrence here anyway, just to make sure I get the thing I want to do. With the last round, I'm very willing to take Pat Bryant. And this leaves us a running back from an AFC side. It gives us 4 pieces of a Rams offense in a way nobody else is going to have it built as well. I don't think very many people are going to build the double tight end LA Rams, right? I'm definitely in on it as a low option. Like, I don't want a lot of it. I'm not saying I want a lot of it. But I do think that it's something to think about. Like, if you go look at their usage and their tight end usage and all that stuff, I think that you would agree that it's something that it's not insane. It's probably not optimal. I will agree there. Like, I doubt that it's optimal, but so few people will be willing to do it. And like, I'll take Corum if he comes back around as well, because that'll give me like a full only need a wide receiver from a different team setup. And if he doesn't make it, we have Ladd, we have Brian Thomas. So Corum did go, which is fine. And then Chargers, McConkey. We have Brian Thomas plus ETN. We have Ferg there. So we'll take Ferg. And who else? What's left at running back? So we definitely want, like, I'll click him. I don't love it. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just take QJ there. And then, so right now we have Stafford, Hampton, QJ McConkey with 2 tight ends, right? With Devontae Adams as a flex. We can basically build out that same thing now with taking Pat Bryant would be Stafford, Adams, Pat Bryant, RJ Harvey, and then the 2 tight ends, right? And then if we take, we already have the Jags thing built out as well, because we have the running back, the 2, and then the flex being the tight end, right? It's a way different path than most people are going to use trying to flex a tight end to the Super Bowl. And it's probably not optimal. Like, I will agree that it's probably not optimal, but it's definitely a build that will be unique and something that with the Rams specifically, I don't hate it, obviously, because I did it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm an absolute lunatic? So did Pat Bryant actually go? Why does this not work all the time? Yeah, like, why did that not work? Okay, apparently I wasn't typing it in correctly. And then we can just take a pure advance rate piece with the last piece as well, right? Or we could just, we just take him, right? Kind of like what I was saying yesterday. We look at the quarterback. We get a last round stack guy there. So we're going to take Herbert, and then we're going to take Pat Bryant. I think that's more, like, it's more important to do in total points than it is in this. But adding that extra quarterback gives us a chance that if Matt Stafford has a bad week in week 2, and even if Herbert gets eliminated week 2, like, if he gets us a bunch of points because he's behind, like, that makes that very, very worth it. So the team, we have Matt Stafford and Justin Herbert. On Stafford, our stack is Adams plus the 2 tight ends, Terrence Ferguson and Colby Parkinson. Running backs, we have ETN, RJ Harvey, and Hampton. And the other wide receivers, we have Brian Thomas, Pat Bryant, Ladd McConkey, and Quentin Johnston. So we have 3 possible Super Bowls built out. all in a weird way. The best Super Bowl is easily the Rams Chargers here, because that means we don't have to flex a tight end. But the unique Super Bowl would be something like the Broncos Rams here, to where we're relying on flexing the tight end, both tight ends from one team. And it's what if Puka gets shut down, right? What if the Patrick Surtain shuts down Puka to an extent, right? Like, I'm not saying shuts him completely down, but he has 7 receptions, 64 yards, right? And a touchdown. But Matt Stafford throws for 4. And Adams has the same score, but he also throws one to both tight ends, right? And we've seen games where he throws multiple tight end touchdowns. So that's where we're at. That's the game script for this. Probably losing money, but you know what? Most of these are probably lost money. We're doing them for fun. We're going to go to the mitten. We're going to underdog now. We're going to join the mitten, and we're going to join the mitten in 10 seconds. Yeah, if Higbee comes back, it does look a little worse. I haven't heard if he is supposed to come back or not. But they paid Colby Parkinson last year, right? And oh man, we got the location error. Sorry everybody. Location error. Silly location error. Cannot believe it. Who would have thought that we get a location error on Underdog? Who would have thought? All right, so I'm on my phone. So now I will join it in 10 seconds. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Four more to start. All right, active. 4 of 6. 2 more to start. And like that team also didn't require both tight ends to be there, but it gave an out to a couple extra Super Bowls by doing that. And I don't know if you guys do pick'ems, but if you look at your lobby, I had a bunch of boosts. They had a snowflake one where you get a 5, like a 5, then a 25, and then 2 50s. They have a 60% boost in there. They had another 50% boost or something. Like, a lot of boosts on pick'ems. There are a couple lines I kind of like this week so far that have been put out there. Some of the lines I want to bet they haven't put out yet. Like, if the Eagles are resting Jalen Carter, I kind of like Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt's overs. We're at the 102. We have Charles here. By the way, Charles, you got what? Where did you finish in the drafters main? Because you were second there for a while. Did you finish 3rd, 4th? I seen Herzig finish 2nd. Peppertoni finishes 5th in the chat, apparently. Okay. I mean, that's still a hell of a showing. Everybody congratulate Charles for being 4th in the drafters main. He had a rough Monday night. He looked pretty good going into Monday night. And 37.5 or whatever from Bijan knocked him down. It also hurt Lutz, who is also a member of the Who Crew. So we had 2 members of the Who Crew finish top 10 in the drafters main. That is awesome. Congratulate them. Quill, who may or may not be here, may not. I think they usually pop in at 5 p.m. if I'm still streaming. They finished top 10 in the $2 mini. Sleazebomb, actually partner in crime here. He finished top 25-ish on one of them. Brought finished top 10 on the Superflex stuff. So, like, congratulations to everybody. Like, I'm glad some people are winning. Peppertoni had a really good week on Underdog. Was the only non-JS team in a round. Oh, yeah, I bet. I bet you were happy that that game happened early in the week. Right? Like I was last year. I had one team in the finals, and it was it was miserable because I didn't have anybody after like the noon games, and I was in second after the noon games. Like all most of my players played like the games before leading up, and I had some pretty good games. I didn't. I had the Sunday night game. I had two players because I had Zach Ertz and Jaden Daniels who both went off. Uh, but I had Lad McConkey and some other players. So like I was in position to do something, but not like a lot. All right, so ETN already went. We're gonna go ahead. And yeah, we're gonna take Adams here. Debating what to do with NFL weeklies this week. Tomorrow, I'm going to kind of focus in on weekly stuff. Hopefully, we have a little more information, and that's kind of what I'm hoping to do tomorrow. Is to I do not like where I'm at. I don't like where I'm at all. What's up, Victor? I'm going to attack weeklies with the same vigor I usually do. I'm just going to wait and do most of them on Friday and Saturday. Tomorrow on stream, I'm gonna kind of bail. Like I'm definitely going to draft weeklies, but I'm only gonna draft the Deposit Kingdom $5 double ups. Just because like I'll be waiting for actual news for the next day. But during that, I will be able to talk through what things I like and don't like based on what news we get or don't get, right? So my plan tomorrow is to do 5 to 10 of the double, probably like 10-ish double ups on stream. And kind of like lead people down the like my thought of what I like for the weekend, assuming that certain things happen. Might end up just doing 5 of those and then 5 of the Primetime Palooza, because the Primetime Palooza seems really fun this week. I was really hoping for a hurry up on the Primetime, but we get 2 conference championship games essentially for the Primetime hurry up. I'm pretty in on that as a whole. All right, so they have Stafford, so they're probably going to allow me to push Brock Purdy around the corner. We'll use Adams as an advance rate piece. And this is going to be a San Francisco gets the 1 seed. We're going to stop with San Francisco maybe here. Maybe we just play this as Seattle wins. I think we'll just do that. We'll just play this as Seattle wins. The mitten is 2 of 6, so you can get a little bit more reckless with the 33% advance rate. Like if I have 4 Niners and they have the 1 seed, I could still put together a team that could get there. But yeah, we have CMC, we have Purdy, we have Jennings, we have Adams as just a pure advance rate piece, and then we have Nico Collins here. Not like I definitely want. I mean, George Kittle has. Yeah, okay, Kittle did go, but I definitely want Pearsall here if I can get Pearsall, and probably just one other running back. And I don't really care who the running back is. It'll just be a random AFC one. Yeah, that's probably where I'm going to get. Uh, the rooting for the old Power Outage Bowl. If you guys remember that, the last Super Bowl, the power went out that the Ravens and Niners played. Uh, and the game kind of turned on its head after the power went out, almost like the power went out and the mafia went in and threatened some people. And I'm not saying this happened, but and it could be that the mafia exploded some generators, people got threatened, and then the other team came back and won. People don't remember Harbaugh almost blew that one too. Yeah. Like it was a completely different game once the power went out. Like a completely different game. And we've seen that like in other situations with like weather delays, to where like the first half of the game is completely dominant, and then there's a weather delay, and then after the delay, like it's not even close to the same game. But yeah, we're definitely gonna spin this into a Ravens Super Bowl with the Niners. So we have those two. Did Pearsall go yet? Pearsall did. He just went. So I won't be able to do that. People are finally starting to remember that Pearsall is actually better than Jawan Jennings. Maybe I just start taking him ahead of him. I'm very in on him just being better. We will. I think we just go ahead and take Lamar here. Lock that up. And go ahead and assume that we get Zay Flowers back. It's really hard to want another piece of the Ravens offense other than Lamar, Zay Flowers, and Derrick Henry. And the Niners are the same way between Jennings, Kittle, CMC. But like, if this is the Super Bowl, I think it's very, very likely that Derrick Henry and CMC are pieces that you both want, right? And then it's just getting whichever pass catcher Brock Purdy carries with him correct. Or two pass catchers from San Francisco and Zay Flowers. Like, I think would also be something that would work. So we got Purdy, CMC, we have, and Jennings. We have Nico. So another piece from the Texans as well. So like Jaden Higgins on this team would make some sense. Right. Yeah. So we're going to take Flowers here. And then I think we're going to go ahead and take Jaden Higgins next. You don't want the $40 million tight end who throws hot potato laterals? I know. I know you love Mark Andrews. I mean, I do think that if they get to a Super Bowl, they might try to force Mark Andrews the ball. I do think that is something that they will try to give him a chance in the Super Bowl to do something. So this builds out a second Super Bowl for us, for sure, with the Texans as well. Our big advance rate piece is Devontae Adams. At the end here, we could take Andrews, or we could just take a pure advance rate piece. I'm pretty comfortable with just CMC and Derrick Henry. Honestly, like I'm pretty in on that. I mean, a last pick Blake Corum though feels pretty good. Like I would not at all be upset about a very last pick Blake Corum. And I mean, Quentin Johnston would, I would like absolutely love to get Blake Corum on this team. Like, how, like, it would, like, it's probably happened where Corum was up here and all the Ravens were lower, right? But it also leans into a second Super Bowl, right? I believe, because you got Lamar, you got Flowers, you have Henry, and then you'll have Adams and Corum. So, yeah. So we definitely take Blake Corum there. So the build, you need 2 receivers, tight ends, quarterback, running back, and a flex. So that would be flex Blake Corum, running back, quarterback, and then wide receiver, right? So like getting Corum there at the end gave us another out to a Baltimore Super Bowl. And like an out I did not expect to happen. If that didn't happen, I was probably going to take. I might have taken QJ, but I probably was going to take Mark Andrews there. But for this team, I really like the Blake Corum fall. We got Brock Purdy, Lamar Jackson, CMC, Derrick Henry, Blake Corum. Wide receivers, tight end. We got Devontae Adams, Nico Collins, Juwan Jennings, Zay Flowers, and Jaden Higgins. I believe I have 4 possible Super Bowls because I have. Yeah, it all feels strong. It definitely all feels strong, and it's got 4 outs. I was not expecting at all for Blake Corum to be available there. But yeah, no, I like this. I like this a lot. The Corum piece kind of is very pivotal here, for sure. So, all right, we're gonna do one more mitten 2, and we're gonna join in 10 seconds. And then this will probably be the end of my stream today. And like I said, tomorrow we are going to be doing looking at the, can't believe it, once again, location error. We've already joined on our phone though. We're waiting on 4. But tomorrow we'll definitely be looking more at the weekly stuff. Hopefully we have enough information at that point to kind of make some decisions. We'll just be doing a little bit of volume for fun, doing the double up stuff. It's a little more lax there too. Like, obviously they're going to make a cut, but slightly over half the people make their money back in that contest. We get the 101. We have Charles here once again. He's got the 102. Sorry about the last one. I forgot to go over your team, sir. Yell at me, call me names. I deserve it. I'm basically this guy at the 6 hole at this point. I should be better. I should absolutely be better. But yeah, I do think if the Seahawks win, I fully believe CMC is the 101, not Puka. If the Niners win, I think JSN should be the 102. So, I think Puka and JSN are the I think it's like if the Seahawks win, I like it CMC and then Puka. And then probably Barkley. And if the Niners win, I like it Puka, then JSN, and then CMC, and then Barkley. Like, I just think CMC is so valuable. Like, he is so valuable. The man gets 20 plus touches every game, right? Like, it is insane the amount of work that he's had this year. Charles gets the 104 and takes JSN. We're going to go ahead and go over his team pick by pick since I failed him. I absolutely failed him in the last draft. I can't believe it. Lazy kid here, just not letting the 5 hole have any fun. Takes James Cook and he takes naked Josh Allen. Can't believe it. Cannot believe it. Lazy Kid takes old Kyron. We'll see. I don't know what route I'm going to go here. There is, like, I highly doubt A.J. Brown falls, but if A.J. Brown falls, like, I think I just morph into an Eagles build. So okay, so Stafford goes unstacked there to ruin everything, huh? That sucks. That sucks a lot. I definitely want Harvey. And I think Kittle. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like the taking James Cook and then not getting Josh Allen back around, you control what the Josh Allen drafter gets if you want to. You can either pivot to having a James Cook advance rate piece and allowing the Josh Allen drafter to get something, or you can just build the headless stack, right? But like with like I think both of them messed up quite a bit. Well, like not only that, but he takes Kyron Williams from the Devontae like after he has Adams, and then the Puka drafters on the other side. So he's already got two. Like taking Kyron Williams there means that you both of those are like you're not going to have a quarterback on those teams. So taking Kyron there, in my opinion, now that the other running back, you're not allowed to get the quarterback already, and the Puka drafters over here, like the Puka drafter didn't get him because this guy made an also aggressively bad move by taking Stafford on a CMC team with no option to get anybody. So like there's three teams in this pod that are aggressively like cannibalizing the entire room at this point, which is why I noticed all of that was going on, which is why I pulled up RJ Harvey here and George Kittle, giving myself some outs to some quarterbacks. And just having Puka as a pure advance rate piece because there's nothing good going to happen there. And this guy takes Purdy there. I'm probably just, I'm not in this room specifically. Like, I think I'm good just doing this. It feels like all the quarterbacks are going to go real bad. So I'm just going to do that. So not only does he take Stafford from me for no reason, he then takes Brock Purdy. At least he stacks that out, though, right? And he has CMC. So, like, I understand that pick. I do wonder if maybe they were AFK and they auto picked the Stafford. They may have been AFK and auto picked Stafford, which just hurts me. But I'm not going to trust that this room knows what they're doing. So I just forced in a Bo Nix there. I'm going to have to get a second quarterback with this. But I will be very shocked if the Broncos don't get the 1 seed. So I'm going to stop at the 3 Broncos here. And I'm going to build something out on, like, I'm going to use Kittle and Puka, basically advance rate pieces. And, I might actually have to build out. Man, this sucks. We're gonna see what happens here. We're gonna build. What running backs are left here? We're gonna take him and him. Like, we're just gonna look to try to get our money back in this draft. Uh, I don't see a way this one turns out well. So we're just gonna like lean into mediocrity now. Probably like we're gonna build like Bo Nix Super Bowl, right? Like an RJ Harvey, Bo Nix, Sutton. Hopefully we could get another Packers piece here. There's a lot of Packers pieces, so like we will take like a Pat Bryant at the end of the draft, right? But one more Packers piece and maybe a Bears piece, or like I don't want Bears and Packers on the same team very often because I do believe they're going to play in round one, and I don't want players on, especially in a 2 of 6 advance. I don't really want to focus on that at all. Like I don't want to end 1 of 6. Yes, there was a report last week that he had movement in his extremities. But yeah, he's gonna have multiple weeks. He was in concussion protocol last week, is what happened. So I think people have forgot about him completely. So like I'll take him in the last round if he gets there. If not, I could just take Marvin Mims or Evan Ingram. Like he's my last round pick. I'm hoping here to get. Oh, Jordan Love. Jordan Love did not go, so we can do Love plus. Was that Jaden Reed? He did go. What running backs are left? So we definitely need that, and we're gonna do that as well. I mean, I wish they would have used Pat Bryant like they were at the end of the season the whole year, and Mims would have never been a thing. I will say this: next year, Pat Bryant is probably going to be one of the best picks on the board. He'll probably go around where Marvin Mims did last year, but a body style and a player that was very good, a player that usage went up throughout the whole year. Unlike Marvin Mims, they just found a specific role and a play style that he worked okay in. Honestly, I probably just need a running back here. So we have a double stack on the Packers. We have Hampton. We have Harvey. We have Sutton. So our Super Bowl will be the bottom of our draft, it looks like, plus Harvey. I just want to make sure to... Like, do we do Tootin here? Do we do a Brian Robinson to build out a little bit there? I mean, we could take Bucky as a possible advance rate piece as well. I'm kind of very heavy on the fact that I think that the Panthers are going to win that game. So, like, not only do the Bucks have to win the game, but the Falcons also have to lose. So if the Bucks win, they're still just a 50-50 to get in. They still need the Falcons to lose. And if the Falcons beat the Saints, it becomes a 3-way tiebreaker. So, like, it's essentially a 25%. I don't know what the actual odds are, but I believe it's like a 25% chance for them to actually advance. So, like, and I mean, Woody Marks is probably like, Woody Marks at the very end here is probably the right play, right? Yeah, I don't love any of this. This whole draft got thrown out or thrown to the wolves, basically. I think I just, you know what? Yeah, we're just gonna take Tootin. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Just a pure advance rate piece because Harvey's gonna have to buy week 1. Hopefully, one of those two is what you need. If the Broncos get there, it's basically we're locked into a Broncos Packers Super Bowl here because we had that stack taken away. We had that stack taken away. And then we had all of the and then there was no running backs available for me to take either. So I probably should have just taken Pat Bryant and used the path that if Hampton doesn't score a lot in week 1, I'm just dead anyway. And then I probably should have given myself more outs in the Super Bowls by taking Pat Bryant there at the last round. But I played scared instead. I think that looking over this, I do think the Pat Bryant there and the 2 RBs was probably the right call. And just using Hampton to try to advance and then giving myself 3 Super Bowls, right? I think that was probably the right call, but that's not what we did. We took Tootin to try to help us advance to the 2 of whatever, and then gave us into a Super Bowl we don't believe is very likely, which is the Packers. But anyway, that's it for me today. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. Central. We will be looking at the weekly stuff instead of the playoff best ball stuff tomorrow. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel and you did enjoy it, please hit the subscribe button. Also, if you haven't hit the like already, please hit the like. I didn't put the link to my Discord in this video description, but it's in most of them. If you're new and you would like to join the Bestball Discord, go to a different video, find the link, click there. You can pop in. See everybody later. Have a great day. Peace.